All right, today we're going to unlock a secret weapon for storytelling. You know the thing that separates a story that's kind of confusing from one that's totally captivating? We're going to demystify the past perfect tense, and I promise, by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to use it to make your stories crystal clear.
So let me ask you something. You ever tell a story and you can just see it in their eyes? Your listener is totally lost on the timeline. You mention one thing, then another, and suddenly the whole sequence of events is just a mess. Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
Just look at this. One tiny change, and it makes all the difference in the world. On the left, it sounds like Peter got there right on time and the play began. But on the right, had already started tells a completely different story, right? It means Peter was late. The play began before he even walked through the door. That one little word, had, is the entire key.
Okay, so how do we actually build this so-called magical tense? Well, you're going to love this because it's way easier than you think. Let's break down the super simple formula.
So what does it actually do? Well, the past perfect is all about talking about an action that was totally finished before another action in the past even got going. Think of it as your tool for creating a perfectly clear sequence of events. You ready for this? The formula is literally just 2 steps. That's it. First, you start with the little helper verb had. And the best part? It's had for everybody. I had, you had, she had, they had. Super simple. Step 2, you just tack on the past participle of your main verb. Words like worked, seen, or left. And that's the whole shebang. Had plus the past participle. Done.
Okay, let's see this in action. For a regular positive statement, it's just, she had worked. Easy. To make it negative, you just squeeze in not. He hadn't come. And if you want to ask a question, just flip them. Had they left? See? The basic structure stays exactly the same. It's super consistent.
All right, everybody, listen up. If you only take one single thing away from this whole explainer, this is it. This is the absolute heart and soul of the past perfect tense. The past before the past. This phrase right here, this is your golden key to mastering this whole thing. The past perfect isn't just about some event in the past, it's about the event that happened before another past event. It always signals the very first thing that happened in your story. This timeline just lays it all out perfectly. Notice we've got 2 events, and they're both in the past. But which one came first? Well, it's the one with the past perfect. The train had left. That's event number 1. Then, later, he arrived at the station. That's event number 2. The past perfect is like a big flashing sign that says, this happened first.
And now for the main event. This is where most people get tripped up. When do I use the past perfect, and when do I just use the simple past? So let's put them in the ring, head to head, and figure this out once and for all. Check this out. We had just started lunch. That's the background scene, right? The thing that was already going on. It's in the past perfect. And then what happened? Bam! When the telephone rang. That's the interruption, the later action, and it uses the past simple. You see that relationship? One sets the stage, the other one crashes the party. Let's do one more, just to really nail it down. What happened first here? The robbers had left. That action was completely over. They were long gone. What happened second? The police arrived. By using the past perfect, we know for sure that the cops showed up to an empty scene. The sequence is totally clear.
Okay, theory is great, but let's see this stuff work in an actual story. We're going to check back in with our friend Peter, who, well, he's having a really bad day. And his story is the perfect showcase for the past perfect in action.
You can pretty much sum up Peter's entire day with this one sentence. He was always just a step behind. It didn't matter where he went because by the time he got there, the main event was already over and done with.
Ah, poor Peter. He gets to the station, but nope, his train had already left. He hustles over to the theater, but you guessed it, the play had already started. He tries the post office, thinking maybe he can salvage the day, but it had already closed. Finally, he goes to the furniture shop only to find out they had sold the one table he wanted. In every single case, the past perfect shows us the frustrating thing that happened before he even showed up.
Okay, so we've been through the formula, the timeline, Peter's terrible, horrible day, but it all boils down to one simple, really powerful idea. Let's get to your key takeaway. If you're going to remember just one thing, one single thing from all of this, I want you to remember a number. And that number is 2. 2. Why 2? Because the past perfect is all about managing 2 events in the past. It's your signal to your listener. It's you saying, hey, listen up. The thing I just mentioned, that happened before this other thing I'm about to say. It takes a potentially confusing timeline and makes it totally orderly.
So, I'll leave you with this. Now that you've got this awesome little tool in your storytelling toolbox, what are you going to do with it? Think about a story you love to tell. A funny moment, a travel disaster, anything. How could adding a little had in there make it punchier, clearer, maybe even more dramatic? Now, what story will you tell?